Mike Owens here, and today I'm joined by Arnold Allen, who's recently come off the biggest win of his career, the 29th of October against Calvin Kattar. Arnold, great to sit down and chat as always. How are things with you today?
Good man, yourself?
I'm very well, my friend, and I'm all the better for not only seeing you on this 10-fight win streak, but also speaking with you today.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Does the Kattar fight, does it feel like a victory? What are your emotions after the win?
Yeah, it's disappointing, but I was happy with the first round. I was very happy with the first round. It was sort of going how I anticipated and how I planned and how I prepped and all those things. So yeah, I was happy with that. I'm happy I at least got a round in to look good at least. So yeah, no, I was happy with that.
Yeah, we've
Hmm.
seen a lot of injuries this year that haven't got out of the first round. The likes of your Tom Aspinalls, Brian Ortega. So at least you got to show a little bit of
Yeah,
what you're about.
yeah. I think even with that one round, I sort of got to show I deserve to be amongst that top five and the position I'm in, I deserve to be there, So I'm not out of place. It would have
Mm.
been pretty crap if I sort of done shit in the first round and then he got injured. So yeah,
Well, then people will call it a fluke, won't they? And they say they'll
yeah,
discredit the W. Um,
yeah.
when he when you hit him with an inside leg kick, so that outside leg kick with the lead leg, and he falls, and you know it's an injury, what does it feel like in the moment? What were the emotions like?
Uh, yeah, it's a little bit a relief because you know you've won the fight, job's done, getting paid your full money and all that stuff. But then after that thought, it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's a bit like, oh, okay. But yeah, it's no one wants to win that way, especially in the position. Like everyone wants to make a statement, and especially in this division, everyone wants to stand out and do something to stand out. But it's sort of haunted at the minute, I think. But yeah, no, there's some good fights ahead, and hopefully, hopefully some decisive decisions.
I don't mean to be rude, but I spoke to Calvin prior to your fight, and I said the same thing to him that I'm going to say to you. The featherweight division is so strange at the moment because every single fighter either has a blemish on his record in terms of a loss, or in the case of Josh Emmett, a couple of controversial wins. In the
Mm.
case of yourself and Yair coming off doctor stoppage victories, there's no clear-cut contender. I've never really seen a situation like this.
Yeah, no, it's a bit mad, isn't it? And then you've got the number. What is it, Max? Max is he the ranked number one guy at the
Max is
minute?
number one, but obviously coming
But
off
then
the
he's like number one, but he's not really in the title talk. So it's like, yeah, it's a funny old division. It's a weird old spot in it.
Yeah. How did you anticipate the rest of the fight going? Did you expect 4 rounds of the same? Did you expect to introduce more wrestling or grappling? What was the anticipation for the rest of the fight?
Uh, that was that was the plan. I thought he's very the way he fights. He's very tough. He's very dangerous. So, he's relentless. He keeps walking forward, keeps coming forward. But that kind of suits me quite well. I'm quite happy to move around a little bit and sort of ping shots in when the guy's walking into him. And he's due to his own toughness, he's quite hittable. He sort of walks into range,
Mm.
and that's a pro and a con for him. A lot of people he walks them down and breaks them, and he's able to do that. But I felt like that's how it was going to go. The sort of once I got into that rhythm, I felt that was it. I found my distance, found my range. I didn't feel like I was going to lose it there.
I know you're a very, very humble guy, Arnold, so I think I know your answer to this question, but obviously the injury occurred originally from an attempted flying knee from Keita, but I
Hmm.
know certainly in the first round and throughout the start of the second, the leg
Yeah,
attacks were obviously a big part of your game plan. How much
yeah.
do you think that your own leg kicks contributed to Keita's injury, if at all?
Uh no, I don't think they contributed. I was the only one thing I thought because I did watch. I've watched it back a couple of times to try and see what happened. There was one I didn't like buckle him, but there was a point where I had a flurry. He kind of like when he fell back to the cage, he fell a bit weird. And I remember in the fight, I threw like a left hook and it went
Mm.
around the guard and he sort of stumbled into the fence. I did see the way he stepped back was a bit weird. So I remember in the fight looking, thinking, oh, something weird happened there. But I don't know. I don't know if that was anything to do with it. But just yeah, I remember thinking that. But yeah, I think that more than the leg kicks, especially it was the other leg. So
100%. Obviously, you have two very different fights in 2022. You have, I would say, the most iconic moment of Arnold Allen's career, knocking out Dan Hooker to the
mm,
the crazy crowd in London, and then you have
yeah,
that slightly lackluster ending in the Cater fight. Can you contrast not only the experiences in London to Vegas, but also fighting in front of the O2 to fighting in front of the Apex?
Yeah, well, the last one, obviously, my first main event, card sort of built around me and someone else, which is pretty cool. But then the London one was like the biggest card I've been on.
Mm.
Obviously, it was a fight night, but it was definitely the biggest. It was bigger than a lot of pay-per-views, and the hype for that and the build up for everything, the attention I got for that and the build up, that felt more like a main event. Obviously, being co-main event on such a big card is a big deal, but I don't know. It just the last one, not the finish you want, but it sort of solidifies the position where I am, and yeah. Just I feel like even without that, I could have put my name in the hat for a title contender sort of thing.
Mm. Finish this sentence for me. Featherweight interim title fight between Arnold Allen and
Whoever it's Yair or Emmett, and Yair or Emmett. So one of those guys. I don't know. I don't know. It don't look like Yair wants to fight for an interim. He just seems to. He wants the whole. He wants the all or nothing by the looks of it. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
who do you think deserves it more out of Yair and Emmett?
It's a hard one. It's a hard one because I have thought about it, but Emmett's on a bit more of a win streak. Yair is a bigger name. He's higher up ranking wise, and the majority of people, because of all my tweets of people saying, call it this guy, call it that guy, you need this guy. The majority of people are saying Yair, so that's what the fans are saying.
Do you think? I think if memory serves, you were matched up against Josh Emmett at some point last year, or there were certainly rumblings of the fight.
Yeah, I was supposed to fight in January 2020.
January 2020, right? So quite a while away when you actually think about it. What is your opinions on his win streak, in particular the back-to-back splits against Ige and Kattar?
Yeah, I don't know. He's always a tough fight, and he's a tough fight for everyone.
Mm.
He's got that horrible style. He's short, stocky, bounces around, throws big power, and he's got a lot of power. He's yeah, but he's always in exciting fights. There's splits, but yeah, he's always a fun fight. So I don't know. To be honest, I ain't got too much opinion on it really. I haven't thought too much about it.
Yeah, 100%. I know you mentioned after the fight about potentially some lingering hand injuries that may have reoccurred. What is the situation like with you? When can we expect to see you back to full fitness into a booking?
Well, if they're coming back for that March card, that rumored March card in London, especially if it's going to be a stadium, that should be perfect. But yeah, no, I went into the fight. So when they offered me the fight, it was about 6-7 weeks notice, and I was a bit like, yeah. I was a bit like, eh. But no, I managed to get through the camp, and it was all right. I just took a kick on the forearm in sparring. I think it was one of Jai Herbert's kicks, and I just remember something tweaked in there, and then I think it was one of the hooks I landed. The same thing kind of went again, so it should be fine. It should be fine. It's just like really annoying at the minute. So,
is it a lingering thing with the hands? Because I know you've talked about. I think you broke your hand at the last in the hooker fight, or there was an injury in the hooker fight. Is there a lingering injury that's going on that is going to is serious, or is it different injuries along the same limbs?
This is something different. So I literally signed to the UFC with hand injuries. So I took a fight. It was made for the cage, and I broke that knuckle, that big fat stinking one, in that fight. And then I went into the next fight with a hand injury, and then I took time off. Had another hand. It's because everyone I fight in the UFC is like the hardest head. You got like Dan Hooker, Nick Lentz, Gilbert Melendez, like Sadiq Yusuf. They're all like the toughest guys. Obviously Calvin.
I've got to ask, who's got a soft head in the UFC?
I don't know. Not those guys. They all got like concrete heads. Maybe my hands ain't weak. They just got tough heads.
It sounds a bit like Mayweather. Mayweather all throughout his career had the lingering hand injuries after every fight.
I just ain't got the money to have people like massage them when I'm sitting at home.
Speaking there, you mentioned blocking a kickoff. Jai Herbert, shout out Black Country Banger. I know we talked I think the last interview we did about the time you've been spending at Renegade.
Yeah.
So time's obviously passed since we last spoke, and in the meantime, Leon has gone and put Renegade on the map, winning the world title. Can you walk me through where you were when you watched Edward Usman, and what was the emotions like for you?
I was just on this sofa right here. It was like 5 in the morning, and screaming in the morning, like trying not to fall asleep at the same time. Like, I can go on. Nah, buzzing. You know, I literally, I was telling everyone because everyone kept asking, "Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to win?" I said Leon's going to win, and I think he's even going to take him down. And everyone's like, "No, he's not. You're insane." So when he took him down, obviously it wasn't looking good after that round. But yeah, everyone's got all shit. But nah, he pulled it off. You got to believe in him. I've seen him in training. I've seen him pull that kick off a few times in training, and yeah, well, actually, yeah. I've seen what the work he put in. He's a very humble champion, and yeah, just a good bloke. So it's cool to see him get it.
As someone who's been in the training room with Leon, what makes him a special fighter, in your opinion?
Um, it's hard to pinpoint, but one of the things for me when I first went there, like obviously, I'm just another guy coming to training, but he was helping me out and giving me tips and making sure I was getting good training. Like obviously it's a bit different. I am in the UFC, so people know me a little bit, but it's not like I'm a random guy turning at the gym. But even then, I've seen him go around. He helps all the amateur guys. He'll run a class. He'll go make sure everyone's getting help. And there's a lot of guys in his position, like the number one guy in the world, that they ain't even going to look down that end of the mat. You know what I mean? They don't know the names of the guys at the other end of the mat. So I've been in, I've seen that in places. So yeah, he's definitely not that guy.
100%. I think that I read a stat a couple of weeks ago. I think it's the first time in history where there's been more UK fighters on 10 fight win streaks than American fighters in the UFC, with obviously
Yeah,
yourself and Leon.
yeah,
How much does that say about the growth and talent of the UK scene, MMA UK scene?
yeah. It's huge. Like the wave we had before. Yeah, obviously your Bisbee, like your Dan Hardy, the Ross Pierce, and those guys, they were solid quality fighters. But now there's so many British fighters in the UFC. And not only we've got like superstars, we've got the talented fighters, we've got the prospects, we've got the staples in there. I'm somewhere in the middle now. I don't know if I'm a veteran or a prospect. I don't know. But yeah, there's so many guys, and not just all good strikers. There's all-rounded fighters. There's submission guys. There's you know, it's gone up levels and levels, and there's so many people you could talk about in each division that could be a champion somewhere. So, it's a good time for UK MMA.
Let's exclude Arnold Allen. Let's give me your top five pound for pound MMA UK list. Who are the top five fighters out of the
Top
UK?
five, top five, whatever.
No, currently,
Currently, top five. It's hard to do top five. Well, Leon, obviously,
Leon, yeah.
obviously. Are you gonna say just UFC or any?
Let's say any organization.
That's hard.
Who's on
uh,
your list? Maybe we don't have to put five, but who's on your list? Who's on the short list?
well, obviously I'm biased because I've been training with them, but Aiden Lee and Jai Herbert are up there for sure.
Mm,
Those guys are good. Tom Aspinall for
yeah.
sure. Um, and one more, right?
Let's go one more, yeah.
Yeah, someone's gonna be pissed off somewhere. Oh shit!
Quick disclaimer: Arnold means no offense if he doesn't pick you as your last pick.
There's so many people I train with. It's hard to think. Shit. Let's go. Corey McKenna. She's good.
Good
I
shout.
like
Good
Corey.
shout.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the featherweight division because last month the champion of your division, Volkanovski, gets into the cage against Islam, and he said, and the rumor is it's Volkanovski moving up a weight. Hence why we've talked about the interim title. In your opinion, what is the keys to victory for Volkanovski to be able to beat Islam Makhachev? What does he need to do?
Uh, I think do what he does pretty well. Like move. You got to move, and yeah, don't clinch up with Islam. Islam looks he's a big. I haven't seen him personally, but he looks big. He's strong,
Mm,
and but Volk is strong. He's short, stocky. He moves very well. He's very quick. But yeah, I think the key for him is don't get caught like on the fence. Don't get. I think he could get up if he gets taken down, but I think Islam's jiu-jitsu grappling will be. I seen the way they train, like they're relentless. Like
mm,
they'll get one takedown, you get back up, they'll get another take. You've seen
mm,
Khabib's fights.
yeah,
They train like that.
mm,
You score a takedown, the guy gets up, they'll shoot another takedown.
yeah,
They're ruthless. So yeah, it's a battle of like who gets tired first in the takedowns, right? If he gets
yeah,
taken down, he gets back up. Then you get taken down again and get back up. But is he going to get tired from getting up, or is Islam going to get tired shooting? I
mm,
think that's going to be the battle.
mm.
Yeah.
And then I don't mean this in terms of yourself, but I mean this in general. If we flip the question a little bit, what are the keys to victory to be able to beat someone like Volkanovski? How do you what are, if you can point any holes in the pound for pound number one's game? What would you think you would need to exploit for success?
I think everything like MMA, you have to, you can't just come at him planning to box him in straight lines. You have to move better than him. You have to mix it up, keep him guessing. You can't just stand throwing the same shot over and over because he's like a computer. You give him a round, you throw him the same thing a few times. Next round, he's going to figure it out and come back with the answer. So you have to fight him in an MMA fight. Mix it up, shoot on him, even if you're faking it with him, high, low, yeah, everything. And also his fitness. Like his fitness seems to be one of his biggest things. Never slows down.
Yeah.
So you have to be on that same level.
Yeah, if not better, presumably.
Yeah, exactly.
One final topic from me, Arnold, because I know you're doing some charity work for Movember.
Yeah.
I can obviously see by the tash on your face. I think I saw a post saying you've just run a half marathon a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I've run a few. I've run a few this week, but I'm running an official organized one tomorrow. And I don't mind running. I've ran a marathon on my own, but I hate doing organized runs because the problem is I get excited and I'll try and race everyone, and then by about a mile in, I'm knackered. So, yeah. But yeah.
Can you talk me through some of the work that you're doing for charity? Some of this organized run that you're doing?
Yeah, so I've just been, because I've running a YouTube thing, but I've kind of fallen off it a little bit in the last camp. But I'm trying to do it on there. I'm posting videos, just doing stuff on there. I've done an auction, it raised, I don't know how much it was, about 1,200, I think. So I'm gonna put that towards it. Growing a mustache, obviously. Yeah, no, it's just trying to do stuff it's all mental health, men's health, and all sorts. So everyone has and everyone knows someone going through something, right? So it's nice to raise awareness for those things, and yeah, I got a spare time so I could do some running and grow a mustache.
Amazing. Do you like the mustache look when you look in the mirror? Do you like what it gives back, or you think I can't wait to get to the 1st of December and get this off?
I was thinking I'm gonna keep it going. I don't like it, but I think I'm gonna keep it going because my mustache grows so slow. I was surprised I had anything going. But I've seen some people that after 5 days in November, they have these handlebars and stuff. I'm like, how you got that going? But yeah, I'm jealous of those guys.
Well, nevertheless, my friend, it was great to see you get the victory, albeit not the victory that you wanted, but a W nonetheless last month. I don't presume we'll see you back with the back end of this year, so enjoy Christmas, and I look forward to seeing you back in action in 2023.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Before we finish, Arnold, how can people find you on social media? Shout out the YouTube channel and any sponsors you'd like to plug.
It's Arnold BFA everywhere, and I don't even know what you just type my name in YouTube. It'll probably come up, I think. And those sponsors just yeah, you know who you are.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKickMMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.